Aussie.
Woohoo! There we go. Live on a Sunday night, seeing out the weekend. And I washed my hair and didn't put any product in it, so it's fluffy. I am Mr. Fluffy Hair tonight, and it's going to annoy me the whole time. But that's the way things go, I guess. Sometimes your hair's annoying. But yeah, we will soldier on, basically. Not get too worried about how fluffy my hair is. Trying to decide when I do this. Has it got a 70s vibe? Something? Sort of Leif Garrett? That's giving away my age, remembering pop stars from the 70s and early 80s. Could really do something. Could go very gothy. If I wanted to tease all my hair and use a bunch of hairspray, it would be fairly big. This is a Robert Smith The Cure thing going on. I could try that. No, I couldn't. That would be boring, and I don't have the patience for doing anything elaborate with my hair. So that isn't a thing that's going to happen, much to the disappointment of millions around the world. So, right. Do I have my phone with me? Yes, because I want to check if AIDS is going to call. Yes, we're going to see if AIDSy is going to call and maybe come on the stream. He seemed sort of full of life last night. Maybe he used up all his energy last night, and maybe we don't hear from him for a while. If he needs to look after his health, then that's well and good, I suppose. So, somewhat unusually for a stream, no one seems to be joining it yet. Have I alienated everybody? I mean, that's a thing I do. That is definitely a thing I do. So this bit, mostly up to now, if you're seeing this, it means, and you're almost certainly watching this back at a later date. So, hey, special time, just you and me. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, let's have special time for a while. I don't know if anyone's... has anyone got to join the stream? It feels a bit weird at the moment. This is one of those things, I guess. Maybe it's Sunday night. Maybe people are doing stuff. That's excusable if people have got stuff on. You got to have your stuff happening sometimes. It's perfectly acceptable. So I shan't hold that against anyone who has stuff going on. But this is getting increasingly weird because this basically never happens. And it feels a bit strange. I'm going to look at some news in case I missed anything while we wait for people to join. Liberal Party faces up to 12 years in Western Australia wilderness after historic Labor landslide. There was an embarrassingly devastating election win at the state level in Western Australia. Just full on. But that's an interesting one. This is, who says, oh, New South Wales, right. Yeah, New South Wales Labor seems in a worse state than federal Labor, actually. And in Victoria, Labor does very well. And I think in South Australia, it's not that swinging that heavily one way or the other at the moment. There was women's marches. Oh yeah, there was a story that female Labor staffers warning male MPs they'll no longer keep their secrets about workplace harassment and abuse, and nor should they. Nor should they. Getting sober. Why ditching booze has become cool. It's not cool. It is actually. It is. I'm just joking. Dear. People going to work. Oh, yes, the quarantine worker who tested positive for COVID. And we'll see if he's given that to anyone else out in the community. Probably be managed fine. All the ones up to now have been managed fine. So, yeah, New South Wales case got out. Brisbane hospital cases. George Floyd's family got a $34 million settlement. I mean, that's like saying that the police, who, unless I'm getting confused with the number of these cases, they weren't charged, let alone convicted. That like suggests they did something wrong, really. Yep, and COVID just keeps getting found in wastewater in various cities, including Melbourne. So, yeah. Technology. So, no, just thinks about computer games. Anyway. No, okay, there is nothing interesting in the fucking news. Seriously, I'm just looking through news and there is nothing interesting. Nope. Okay, and there's no one on the stream. Well, okay, I was literally about to end this stream. So everyone's trying. Hello, Bex. Hello, Kirsten. Do I sound sad and mopey when I say that? And hello, Chris. Okay, you just made it. Literally, I was going to end the stream because there didn't seem to be anyone joining, which is fine. You know, people got stuff to do. I'm okay with that. But now people are coming in, which is nice because we like to hang out. As I got a reminder from my Facebook memories, it's basically a year ago I decided to start doing this on the regular. And I've done it 4 or 5 nights a week since then. Chris, you got nothing to do. Man, I got nothing to do. And hang on here. Mega Leech, hello to you, sir. So yeah, let's do nothing together. So the term which never really caught on, but is the term I used when I started doing this last year. Japanese term onnomi, online drinking. So like when you couldn't go out and drink with friends to feel less lonely, or get together to have a drink on camera, and everyone does it without needing a term for it, really. So onnomi never actually caught on, but drinking online did. Yeah, this is not even alcohol. This is my. I like to start with a non-alcoholic beverage. My pineapple, coconut, and lemonade. It's like a virgin pina colada. Actually, it is. It's basically a virgin pina colada, which I like. And, I also like getting caught in the rain. But I'm not into health food. And I will stop quoting that stupid song now. That is the stupidest song. And again, I'm possibly just betraying my age remembering it. I have no idea how well any younger generations know the Pina Colada song, aka Escape. I think that was its formal. The formal name for that song was Escape, but everyone called it the Pina Colada song because of the chorus. Started with "Do you like pina coladas?" And yes, it's just like the 70s. 70s was different. Sort of ugly middle-aged guys could be pop stars. I missed my moment. Now you have to be young and pretty to be a pop star, which seems unfair, but whatevs. Kirsten, been miserable all day, as in raining. We had yesterday was just solid rain, and it cleared up today. But yeah, yesterday was the most consistent rain for like 12 hours that I have seen in a long time. Like, it wasn't a storm, it wasn't belting down, it wasn't lightning and thunder, but it just rained incredibly consistently for a very long time. Yeah, that maybe it's the same weather pattern moved up to you. Oh no, miserable day and you're hungover. I was only mildly, I had a slight headache when I woke up and slightly queasy tummy, but the headache wasn't severe. Like, just some Nurofen got rid of that. Or ibuprofen, I should say, because it wasn't Nurofen. It was a no-name ibuprofen. So not even with the codeine, the plus, because you can't get that anymore. So it didn't really qualify as a hangover because fucking if two ibuprofen can get rid of the headache, it's not really a hangover. And I felt slightly queasy in the tummy because there's so much rain and no husband to fetch snacks. So unfair, so very unfair. Oh, yes, Chris, your part of the US is renowned for its rain, if I remember rightly. It's not renowned for sunshine and bright days, although I'm sure you get that. Yes, even I think I've heard your part of the country has a reputation for lots of rain. Or from Washington through to the Pacific Northwest is somewhat rainy. Well, handy if you love the rain, Chris, if you're in a very rainy place. Don't want to get the seasonal sads from it. And you're moving into the dry season. Yes, I guess that's a thing as you move into summer. I was messing about. This has got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it just popped into my head. I was messing about with my editing software because I was editing the first of my St. Patrick's cocktails, the Emerald Martini. And I'll hopefully piss off some purists by calling it a martini. I even said shut the fuck up in the video preemptively for anyone who was upset by it. So me picking fights and yes. So I had a point. Oh yeah, I was playing with my editing software because I thought the fairy lights looked good. It wasn't perfect. And there was a distracting bit there. And I thought, there's this thing I'm meant to be able to do a mask that tracks my movement. I would put a mask on me and say everything outside of that, make it really out of focus. And that might take away the distraction. But it was taking to, I do want to experiment with it another time. Yes, Kirsten, living up to the angry name. Also, there's this one guy, because I'm going to YouTubers who are doing bartending. We're talking about someone started popping up in comments being a pedantic jerk, and we've all decided we fucking hate the guy. And I was thinking of him when I preemptively said, fuck off if you're going to complain that this isn't a martini. Abigail, slaps roof on car. This bad boy can fit the entire WA Liberal Party. If it's a family sedan, it can fit the entire coalition in there, can't it? I thought the Nationals only got 3 seats, but I didn't see the final one, I guess. Yeah, they did. They only got 3 seats. So, oh no, but they're actually predicting the Libs will get 3 and the Nats will get 4. So 7. So you have to have one of those people. You have to have a people mover to fit the entire... Not a huge one, just, an average-sized people mover to get the entire West Australian Conservative coalition into the vehicle. Yikes. Ding! It's AZ. We're hearing from AZ, apparently. Nice. Okay. He must have enjoyed last night. He wants to come back. So I will send him a linkaroonie to his Gmail. Where are we? So that's done. So we might see AZ in a little bit. Okay. Emailed you the link. I love autocomplete. So send the same message 100 times and it'll just autocomplete for you. Yes. See, Kirsten, some people saying like, what's your cocktails are going to call it angry? Because you're never angry. Or, do something to piss me off. I'm definitely going to pick some fights in the coming week with vodka as a mixer in cocktails. I just have to decide which to do. I'm either, and I might do both of these over time. I'm either going to make... I already have the name for the... why does he do that? Okay. The name for the video be like 3 vodka cocktails improved by not using vodka. Just go with... I either just go with my gut feeling and say, okay, in this vodka cocktail, what I'd replace it with is... and... do that. Or the other one I was thinking is, popular vodka cocktail, what white spirit is the best replacement, and make it 3 times, once with gin, once with white rum, and once with tequila, and see what they all taste like and see which one's the winner. We'll do one or possibly do both of those. So, that's going to be, I think, quite clickbaity and maybe get a bit of attention, do a thumbnail saying vodka sucks or something. I think definitely will do that. Vodka sucks. Got to get people off vodka and putting... again, if you're a straight vodka drinker, that's one thing. But putting it in cocktails, you just don't taste it. You should put something in that has taste. Right? As in addition to Abigail's point, lack of funding, Liberal Party gets because of massive defeat limits their reach in the future. Yes, yeah. They're going to be in a state like they even apparently have to, because they have so few seats, they have to ask the Premier for funding for officers because they're below a threshold of automatic payments. And so he'll probably give it to them. But if that's going to happen, if the Conservatives have to come begging to the Premier for funding for stuff for their office, I'd say, yeah, do it. But I'd have a throne installed and be sitting in it, like reclining in my throne, and make them enter on their knees and do it. Ha! You had a summer reboot in Queensland today, Shieldsy, 28. Yeah, that's not even that uncommon at this time of year, is it? We get, even in Melbourne, we get warm days like well into the 20s, right into April. And in recent years, probably because of climate change, we've been getting warm days even in May. Yeah, Raiders, absolutely. Put the libs in a rat-infested bunker where they belong, which is possibly slightly mean to the rats, to be honest. That's it's arguably a little bit mean to the rats. But what are you going to do? The Liberal Party's got to be somewhere. And, rats can share. That's my theory, anyway. Back to what I'm going to. What is this week's weather? I mean, I never leave the house, so what does it matter? But this week we are getting might rain a little bit tomorrow. See, we're getting mid-20s this week. We're getting 25, 26 for 4 or 5 days in a row. Bit cooler tomorrow and Tuesday, but then, and this prediction could change, but 25, 26 for 4 or 5 days in a row. Nice. It's kind of my favorite weather. Mid-20s, either in autumn or in spring. Just about my favorite weather. I don't like it really hot, and I don't like it really cold. Give me mid-20s, and I'm going to be very appreciative. So, I should say I've been bargain shopping today. Young Mr. Angry needed a suit, so I went to the outlet mall to get him a cheap suit, so that was good. And then bought some household thingies as well. I'm a very domestic person. Chris, freedom units. Let me double check. I do have a converter here. Temperature. Celsius. Wait, I shouldn't have done that. I should have done this. But anyway. Right. So that's mid-70s, Chris, for you. After the next couple days, be like 75 to 80 is the prediction for 4 or 5 days in a row. Shedsy's pain, keep the lawn down. We've only got very tiny lawn here where I live, out there. Mrs. Angry mows it, actually. She's the garden person. So actually, you agree, Chris? That's good weather. 75 Fahrenheit. Yeah. So if one can believe the Bureau, that temperature, 25, 26 Celsius, 75, 80 Fahrenheit. Jesus Christ, Shieldsy, 600 square meters of lawn. You have sporting events in your backyard? What the hell is that? Jesus, that's huge. I hope you got a ride on or something. Imagine doing that with a scythe. I was going to go with a push mower. No, even worse would be a scythe if you had to do it with a cutting implement. Scissors. Sorry, that would be some sort of diabolical punishment on someone, wouldn't it? You must cut the lawn with a pair of scissors. I think I've seen that in something. I feel like I've seen that in something. Who only is? You do have a push mower for real? Jesus. Kirsten, you don't have to do gardening because you're in an apartment. Yeah, we have a little bit of garden, and Mrs. Angry loves her plants. Jesus, I should do just a video tour of the plants we have around the house because there are a fuck ton. It's like 20 orchids and various other plants. Probably 50 or 60 succulents. I don't know. There are a lot of succulents. The cactus type things. Oh no, Abigail, bad migraine. Waiting for meds to kick in. That's not good. That's not good at all. He said, stating the bleeding obvious. Chris, do you want the lights back? I switched the lights back on. All right, let's put the lights on. The lights are happy. I'm going to go put the lights on. Let's do this. Unclick this. Oh, we're all tangled up. There we go. Put that there. We'll put the lights back on. Wait, where's the plug? All right, need to find the plug. There we go. Happy. Oh, while I'm here, I'm going to get a glass and the martini I had chilling in the freezer. Why not? Do 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 do. La di da di da. Don't really have the freezer space, but I'm thinking of doing an infinity martini at one point, where you just keep topping it up. Use a different gin from time to time, different vermouth from time to time. There we go. Lights. Oh no, Chris, you don't bother with the yard. That's what your strong girlfriend's for. If that were this is Mrs. Angry does the yard here. Oh wow, that's cool. Oh, my martinis. It must be a vermouth can freeze easy enough, and it's got a little bit of Midori, so it was green. But that was quite viscous as I poured it out. Looked very cool going in the glass. Cheers. When are you talking about Baba Kush, Shaka? Oh, that was good. For some reason in my head, might have been residual from my coconut pineapple drink. God, fluffy hair. It's got, and I went to drink this. Mentally I was thinking sweet, and of course it's gin, so it's bitter. It's nice. I like it, but it was a very weird sensation. Right, you're saying a standard quarter-acre block has 1,000 square meters? Does it? See, I'm fucking bad with stuff like that. Ours is, this bit at the back's probably only about, I don't know, 20 or 30 square meters. It's not big. Very small. Shields, you're trying to con your dad to park his zero turn right on at your place. Yep, I'd be leaning on that too. I would definitely be leaning on getting hold of your things. Chris, they are dirty socialist European units we're talking about. This is the weirdest thing for me in terms of measurements. Is for like a person's height, I have trouble visualizing it unless it's in feet and inches. Like when people say centimeters, I don't even know how tall I am in centimeters. I get confused. But weight, I only know kilograms. Like if someone started talking about how many pounds they are, I'm just like, fucking what? Temperature, I no familiarity with Fahrenheit. I only know Celsius. And traveling distances, I'm probably equally good with kilometers or miles. I know in my head rough approximations for if someone says something in miles, I go, it's about that many kilometers. So for like long distances like that, I'm equal with imperial and metric. Human height, I have big trouble if you use metric. I only understand imperial. Weight, I only understand metric, not imperial. I don't know why my brain works that way. And yes, that is true, Raiders. A square meter is very close to a square yard. Oh, I like me a martini, I have to say. Annette, howdy. Shuki, your house is hidden in remote forest. Fair enough. Yeah, there you go. 4,500 square meters is a freedom acre. Like the old imperial measurements used to be dumb as shit. It was like one of the measurements was, and I forget what it was, a furlong or something, but it was like how far a man can walk in a day. Well, that's stupid as hell. Different people walk different distances. So, but yeah, a lot of the really old imperial measurements were fucking stupid. But I guess they didn't have accurate measuring stuff. So the metric system is very clever. Chris, if I had freedom fries. Yeah, good question, Abigail. I used to have that in the book at school. How many chains to a furlong? Chains to furlong. How many chains to a furlong? Oh, okay. So one chain is about a tenth of a furlong. There you go. How many 8 furlongs is a mile? There you go. And a chain is 22 yards. Jesus Christ, this is just like a chain is subdivided into 100 links or 4 rods. So 100 links is one chain. 10 chains is one furlong. And 8 furlongs is 1 mile, or 80 chains in 1 mile. Stupid as hell. Absolutely stupid as hell. Yes, Raiders, the races at Flemington. Yeah, they talk about furlongs in the races. Oh, that didn't occur to me, Raiders. A chain is a standard cricket pitch. There you go. Yes, Chris, directions. Go that way 8 furlongs and make a left. Musical AV, you do mixed units too. No idea about statute miles, aviation nautical miles. Find kilograms, feet for height, meters for length. Don't ask about area. Yeah. Oh, that's nice, Musical AV, because it's Pi Day today, 314. Again, only if you use the weird way Americans use the calendar. But I'll do it for a gimmick for Pi Day. If you search Pi on Google, you get a normal Google calculator, but with animated sparkles. I'm going to do it now. What do I get if I get Pi? Here you go. You get a calculator showing 3.1419265,359, and it sparkles because it's Pi Day. Wowzers. There you go. Cute little things Google does. They used to have a good one for the Wizard of Oz. I don't know if they still have it, where a twister would take the screen out. See if it still does it. Wizard of Oz. Why is the Wizard of Oz banned? 7 fundamentalist Christian families in Tennessee want the book banned in public schools. They filed a lawsuit against schools because they didn't like the novel's depiction of nice witches. Jesus Christ. What is wrong? Well, I know what's wrong with those people. Weird people. There we go. Can't wait for Avogadro's Day, celebrated at 6:02 a.m. on the 23rd of October, because Avogadro's number, I assume, is 6.02 times 10 to 23. Please tell, and I'm absolutely serious about this. Please tell me more about that. And then definitely remind me before the 23rd of October, because I will make a cocktail for Avocados Day and take great joy in explaining it to people. Shieldsy, you don't know what people are up to, but driving slow up your road, 50k road, and they're doing 20 to 30. Who knows what people do? People are weird. People are just weird. Speaking of weird, I want to check my ice. Can I get it out in this stream? So is it? I feel like, okay, I can see impurities and they don't move. Okay, I'm going to take a risk because, I mean, you know, what's the worst that can happen? But my ice doesn't work. Yeah, I think it's saving time if I do it now. I'm just going to get a thingy. Hang on a second while I get a thingy. All right. So, the grand experiment with this huge, what there should be a huge cylinder of clear ice. I'm sure that's frozen at the bottom. Okay, I'm going to take the risk. That should come out sometime this stream. Actually, you know what I should do? So I'll put it right next to the microphone. Because then it'll make a fun ASMR slurping noise when it comes out as the air gets in there. Chris, people bad, computers good. Sounds like Skynet. Big bad ads, you found someone going through your rubbish. People will do, like, is in a rubbish bin. It's weird if they're going through, were your bins out? That was the big thing. I mean, because if someone puts stuff out, if it's in a skip or something, it's kind of like, you know, open season for taking it. Shields, you reckon bottle and can hunters? Well, sometime here in Melbourne, we're supposed, like, I think it's technically possible to redeem bottles and cans now, but they're supposed to make it easier. But speaking of things that people cast out that may possibly still be of some use, it's AZ.
What are you looking at, cunt?
Exactly.
I'm practicing for my dome clinic.
All right. Yep. Just stare them down.
When's the cunt going to get fucking seen?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've also been practicing tongue twisters as well. So Becky bought a bit of butter, but she said this butter's bitter. So she took it back to the shop and said, no, I don't want to see a supervisor. I want to see a manager immediately. And she saw the manager and said, this butter's bitter. And the manager said, okay, you can have a full store refund. And she really wanted money, but they said that's our policy. And so she got a full store refund and took the butter home. And it was better, but she said, I really wanted a refund, and then looked on the bottom of the packet and said, unless you're 100% satisfied, take it right back for a full refund. And she thought, I've been fucking ripped off. So she said, but this butter's better. But tipped it out and then shaped a turd into the same shape as the butter, and then brought it back and said, what the fuck is this? Give me some money. And yeah, she got her better butter. I don't know if that's the original rhyme.
It's pretty close. I think it's pretty close.
Close.
Yeah.
But it's not very tongue twistery.
Yeah.
It doesn't sort of echo those 19th century values, you know, like she
Mm-mm.
sells seashells by the seashore. You know, no one sells shells by the seashore.
That's a
No one does
stupid
it.
place to sell seashells because you can just go and get your
Because
own
you can
seashell.
just fucking go supply and demand, bitch.
Yeah.
I'm by the seashore where the seashells are.
Mm.
Are you Irish? Which is, you know,
Yes.
who would sell shells because, you know, of the lower economic class in England. And then I was thinking about it. Most English beaches are stones. So selling seashells, probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just looking at stones all the time. And then there's a seashell. Perhaps there's some sea life in it that you could boil up and eat because you're of one of the poverty classes. And then by boiling up and eating, you'd survive to be press ganged and colonialize another continent like Africa or Australia.
That's a thing. Also, completely unrelated, but was talking earlier. Abigail brought up Avogado's number, which you celebrate at 6:02 a.m. on the 23rd of October, the 10th month, because Avogado's number is 6.022 times 10 to the power of 23, and it's the number of particles or molecules or atoms in a one. Oh, Jesus Christ! Guess who fucking knew? Jesus, yes, it's in a mole.
It's Avogadro's number.
Yeah, Avogadro's
and that's
number.
how we found out that Triple J ripped us off.
Yeah, useful in chemistry when measuring reactants and products of a chemical reaction. So I've got until the 23rd of October to come up with a cocktail that fits Avogadro's number.
What we'll do is we'll make a mole of cocktail.
A mole of cocktail. No, but we could try. The other thing I was thinking, because it's about reactants, I could make a cocktail that has some sort of reaction. Like you add a final ingredient and there's a reaction.
Easy enough to do. I'll tell you what, I'll start looking into the mole of fluids.
Yeah.
And the molar value of fluids and the molar value of reactants. And I'll probably forget as fuck and get onto you about it. Go, have a go at this. And you'll go, ooh, like that. And then we'll make Dr. Abigail drink it.
An Avogadro cocktail. So why not indeed?
Because, you know, he was Italian.
Sounds like it.
You know what I mean? And it's like all things that come out of Italy are a bit dodge. Like fucking Fermi.
Fermi's number.
Dodgy as fuck. Because, you know, in the 80s, we were all fucking afraid of dying of nuclear destruction. Fermi.
Yeah.
Fucking Italian. Mobile phones. The cancer-causing killers of our minds.
Yes.
Invented by Marconi. What a dog fucker. Again, Italian. Fucking homosexual hate. Invented by Italians.
Okay.
Well, Catholic Church anyway. Italian.
True. That's actually a fair call. And the Catholic Church basically was completely Italian dominated until very recently.
Just very recently, and don't they fucking hate it?
That they're losing the dominance.
There's a really good abridged series called Helsing Abridged, and in one of the abridged episodes is a pope trying to have a coup on the church, and he complains about the current pope fucking Freudian slip there.
Yeah.
He complains about the current pope giving
Yeah.
money to the fucking poor. What are we?
Yeah.
Fucking soup kitchen.
Yeah.
And he has this great. It's really good. You should see it.
Yeah.
If I find it, I'll put it up online.
Yeah, that's fair. Sorry, I'm just looking up potential cocktails from this article I found, and this one's wild. It's called a Sawyer, as in like Tom Sawyer, and it starts off. It's a gin sour. It's like you put gin, lime juice, and simple syrup. That's gin sour, which is really nice. But after you've done that, then it says put 14 dashes of Angostura bitters, 7 dashes of Peychaud's bitters, and 7 dashes of orange bitters. So someone went off their fucking trolley at that point. It's going like, I almost think like someone was just making a gin sour and then he like accidentally spilled an enormous amount of bitters into the drink and said, I meant to do that. That was on purpose.
Or was trying to piss someone off and did it, and then they drank it and went, this is awesome. And he's gone, shit. Remember that?
Yeah.
Drank it himself and went, that's fucking awesome. And then wrote it down.
Yeah. Consider the Wibble. I think Dick Bradsell, he's one of the more famous bartenders of the late 20th, early 21st century. I think he must have been a Blackadder fan. There was that thing where Blackadder said his great plan to get taken off the front line was to be insane. And he was like just sticking pencils up his nose and saying Wibble to everything that anyone asked him.
And putting underpants on his head.
Yes. So this is gin, slow gin, grapefruit juice, lemon juice, simple syrup, and creme de mure, which is blackberry liqueur, which I have some of. Oh, that sounds nice. That actually sounds really good.
It does sound nice, doesn't it?
I could make that. I've got some slow style gin. Just have to go.
How
and
is gin different to slow gin?
We had this conversation, I think, last night because our good friend Glee, the only YouTuber who's older than us, our wonderful friend Glee, she asked, and because she thought she had in her head it was like SLOW, like slow. It was some slow distillation process. But no, it's SLOE, which is a type of fruit or berry. I think it like fucking grows in hedges in the UK.
Because I was thinking gin with a learning disability.
Yeah, well, it's gin that drink enough, it'll give you a learning disability. No, it's flavored with this fruit. So yeah, the real traditional one, and it's most gin is clear. Slow gin will be red or purple from the fruit. And it will also usually be much lower alcohol by volume, like 40%.
That's pointless, isn't it?
Yeah, 40% is average for gin. Slow gin are commonly about 25%. Although I've got a couple of Australian ones, one made with cherry and one made with native Davison plum. So it's that style, but it's not using slow. It's using something else. And they're both over 30%. So
good.
Oh yeah, Kirsten loves the slow gin, especially the Blackthorn from Patient Wolf. Soon as I finish my cherry from Anther, that's going to be my excuse to go back to the Patient Wolf distillery and get their Blackthorn gin. Very nice. So, Safa, in USSR, gin drinks you. In the USSR, they're too impatient. It's the vodka, as Kirsten always says. Vodka is the sad story of a spirit that could have been gin but missed its chance. And
that's a bit harsh.
It is, isn't it?
That's a bit harsh.
Really is.
People have spent a lot of time and money getting vodka from the US to USSR. For example, once they coloured vodka to make sure it looked like denatured vodka, denatured alcohol. Got it over there and then put the chemical in it, which got rid of the blue, and sold it on the street as cheap vodka. and after
And
a while,
killed a
they
bunch of
started
people.
taking the blue out.
Yeah.
And you just get blue vodka, and they got busted really badly in America.
Yeah. Oh, Kirsten, yeah, I got a new bottle of Mac just this week. They're Kirsten getting me into the Australian spirits and liqueurs in the last 12 months. The two that I just have to have in my collection now, Mac, the macadamia liqueur from the Cape Byra distillery in New South Wales, and Okar Gold, which is a herbal liqueur from the Applewood distillery in South Australia. I've got to have those two. They're just
Sounds
and
good.
other stuff I'll mix up and change around. Speaking of which, I'm sure because I got some limoncello from Applewood, which I think is the best limoncello I've ever had. I'm sure there was someone who was doing a limoncello. It was possibly Brogan's Way. No, it's someone from Tasmania, I think. Let me see.
Isn't that where they try and escape from the city of domes, Brogan's Way? And
Probably. Yes. No, Brogan is actually
they take alcohol with them.
Yeah. Brogan's actually the head distiller. I'm not sure where that name comes from, but the name's I think
he was the one who ran away from the city of domes. That's probably what he did when he won. He
that's probably it.
Okay.
Abigail's doing some Googling for us. Prunus spinosa, called blackthorn or sloe, is a species of flowering plant in the rose family. Sloe berries are often mistaken for blueberries, but are much more spherical. These blueberries are slightly flattened. There you go. Ashoka reckons the best gin he had was Russian. That's fair. Kirsten went to market and they were, it was nice. You were at a market and people from the distillery were actually there, so you could buy it direct. That's right. Brogan's her first name. So there you go. I'm not exactly sure where her parents came up with that name because it is a complete new one to me.
I don't think I'd enjoy that name in high school or primary school.
I have to admit,
Brogan.
Yeah, I was
sensitive because I was called Adrian, and everyone said, "Oh, that's a girl's name," and I was going, "It isn't."
No, that's Adrienne.
That's right, it was a girl's name.
Yeah,
and, all the girls
and there was a famous Adrienne. He was on one of the game shows.
It's a boy's name, so we couldn't win.
Yeah.
So it took me a long, long time to learn violence. But eventually, I got there. Anyway, Brogan.
Yeah. So yes, Brogan is the head. Is she the head distiller, Kirsten, or does she just own it? I've seen her on a stream. So I'm over 18. Shop. They make gins: Salvation Gin, Evening Light Gin, Hearts of Fire Gin, Royal Blood. That's the strong one, 57%. Passion Fruit Husk Gin, Passion Fruit Gin Liqueur, Batch Zero Vodka. There you go, limited release vodka. And I think, no, Kirsten, you told me about some Tasmanian distiller that they were the ones that made a limoncello that I was kind of keen to try. Oh, there you go, Kirsten with the facts. Brogan's parents are South African, but not sure if Brogan was born there as Kirsten was. But yeah, so okay, yeah, that could be a Dutch name, like an Afrikaans name.
No, it's a brand of gun. So it was for getting rid of the kefir.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God, do you know that there's a lime that is very commonly called a kefir lime, and a few people have started saying that's kind of not cool. And now there's a new, and I don't even know what the new name for it is, but there's like we should stop calling it that for reasons. And
well, I don't know. It's a little bit like Kern cheese, which was named after the guy.
Okay, point. No, it wasn't. An Australian academic has researched and has very close to conclusively proven that story is complete fucking bullshit. And the name was actually because the cheese was originally released in a black wax and it was called coon cheese. And after the fact, Kraft tried to graft onto, oh yeah, there was this chemist in the US who had a patent for a particular sort of cheese preparation, and there's an Australian academic who has proven very close to conclusively that is a bullshit story Kraft made up after the fact to hide the actual racist origins of the name.
They've already tried to hide the fact, then, they've lost their name. You know. I, for example, am putting a class action in to make your name illegal.
Should do.
Because, you've lemon gaslighted me enough. So that you should be called Gaslight the Lad.
Ooh.
And I've put in the papers. You can sign and make this go away, or to court we go.
Yeah, look, that's things gonna happen. Okay, yeah, Kirsten's saying Rogan is actually the head distiller. She has a master's degree in distillation. So many of the distillers in Australia, they're like so fucking qualified. Like, when I went to the Anther distillery in Geelong last time, Mrs. Anger and I had a weekend away out that way. The woman running shit there, she was actually a molecular biologist. Like, she's got a science degree and has just gone, I think I shall apply my science degree to making better booze, which is just...
Well, I was going to. Before I became a theatre student, I was going to be an enologist, which was a wine scientist. And the whole idea was when they legalised pot, I was going to turn my biology degree over to the growing and harvesting of the best pot available and make my money that way. And I'm surprised they still haven't legalised pot. See, I'd be old by now and I'd still be pumping out wines going, when are we going to be able to get Winfield True Green?
Yeah. Knock Lofty, sorry. Just read, Kirsten couldn't remember the name of the Tasmanian thing, and I just went, I'll just put Tasmanian liqueur and see what comes up. And I remembered it had a really unique name, Knock Lofty, which is a great name for a place.
Is that not as in cannot, as in tying of string, or not? As
no, it's knock as in knock on a door.
Oh, Knock Lofty.
Yeah.
It sounds sexual.
It does, doesn't it? There's a Knock Lofty Reserve in Tasmania, and the distillery is in that area, so they call themselves Knock Lofty. Get exclusive offers when I sign up for... Yeah, look, when I'm going to buy your stuff, I will sign up for your emails to get my discount. Raiders found... Yes, I did actually see that Hellfire distillery.
What's the house? Why are you crawling behind the chairs?
No, that's the same as the people in my house do when they want to go to the fridge behind me. They ninja it. No, boss of the house, don't take shit. Ninjaing it behind the live stream is what all the cool kids do.
He stopped. I think he's going to stab me in the bum with a pencil.
Yeah, that would be absolutely fair.
Or he's looking for something.
Yeah.
He could have just said, "Go and find me a thing." No, he's going to bed.
It's okay.
Nice ninja there, boss of the house. And I'm getting the get fucked.
And as I would say, absolutely fair. So, what they have? Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus! This Knock Lofty guys talking about a slow gin. They've done one that's damson, mulberry, quince, cherry, and slow. Holy shit!
That's not fucking around.
That's wild.
Because you'd have to You'd have to
no,
do that up first.
I thought that was a blend. Those are all different ones. You can get a
Oh.
Damson gin, a mulberry gin, a quince gin, a cherry gin, or a sloe gin. Wild. Okay, that's pretty wild.
I
They've
looked
really,
at how you make gin the other day, and you've got to put
yeah,
it in a steaming bucket,
yeah,
above or below the final pass through of the alcohol before it gets into the
yeah,
worm, and that's
yeah,
where the flavour gets in. And
yeah,
I was thinking about how would you do that in a primitive way?
yeah,
And you do that with fine mesh or a
yeah,
colander
yeah,
that was taped to another colander that was sealed, and you'd then whack that to the worm.
yeah.
Because I always think about how did they make this stuff in the 20s when there was prohibition. How do you make prohibition booze? And all
You
these
need the base
practices.
spirit to start with.
That's right. You need the base spirit to start with. How do you
Yeah.
distill lots and lots and lots of base spirit or base beer to make the spirit?
Yes. Yeah.
Think
The
about.
base is often a mash, which would be beer if you just brewed it, but you distill that mash that would have been beer to get your base spirit, and then you do what thing? Like if you're doing gin properly, you need a still. You actually have to redistill it with the botanicals, but you can kind of fake it and get something that tastes a lot like gin just by starting with vodka and then putting botanicals in it, like steeping the botanicals in it and then filtering it. And then technically that's flavored vodka, but you can get something that tastes a lot like gin if you put the right botanicals in. But to truly be gin, you have to redistill it with the botanicals. But you can fake it. You can fake it fairly easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I fake it all the time, but no one believes it.
Yeah.
Everyone says you faked that.
Yeah. That's fair. AZ's sorting out a couple of things. So I don't know that I want to go to all the trouble of ordering a lime liqueur from Tasmania. Who's my other local? It should be just there. Why am I forgetting? Creme de mer. I've got 3 of their liqueurs. Why am I forgetting who they're called? Because my brain is old and turning to mush, and that's it, basically. It is Marionette. I knew I'd get there eventually. I would remember Marionette. What did they have in their flavors? Because I've got a bunch of their stuff. 3 of their things. Oh, that's right. They've got blue curacao now. So, because blue curacao was traditionally shit, but they've said no, blue curacao, which is fun because blue drinks are fun, but it's good quality. They've gone like blue curacao, but good. I've actually just got the Voc blue curacao. I have quite a few Voc mixes in my. You look tired, man.
Do I?
You do. Just throwing it out there.
I look more tired than yesterday.
You do. You were really spirited yesterday. Because you initially kind of said to me, I thought you were feeling kind of shit yesterday, but you were really spirited last night.
Well, I was putting it on.
Yeah, but you put it on quite well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm also due for a shave tomorrow.
Okay.
And so as a result, I'm frightened because I've got my razor looking at me, going,
The old straight razor.
I'm a straight razor. but it's not very straight because it's one of those ones where you put the blades in. It's not like,
Yeah.
cool and ground down for your satisfaction.
Oh no, I know the one. Yeah, you put one of the
Open it up and
razors in
you
the thing,
crack
yeah.
it in half and then you
Yeah.
put it in. But you crack it in half in the actual packet because
Right.
otherwise you'll cut the fuck out of yourself.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
And I have actually cut my fingers and my arm on the blade before I even
Yeah.
got to the face.
Yeah.
And
That
I've
is
got
the
to
thing
watch
with
that
razors,
because
yeah.
certain hospitals,
Oh yes, they think you're
naming any
self-harming.
names, St.
Yeah.
Vincent's, St. Vinny's,
Yeah.
said that I was a self-harmer. Those fucking dogs.
Yeah.
Anyway, there
You
was
know, I'm just clumsy.
there's a particular branch of their rehab. So they have a rehab in St. Vinny's and they have a rehab out at Kew.
Yeah.
And this doctor was talking about, oh, we're going to send in rehab here. And said, oh, we're not going to have him. We refuse to have him because of something I didn't hear. And because he's a self-harmer. And the doctor said, oh, he's a self-harmer. Oh, all right, we'll send him out of Kew. And I was like fucking spewing. And I was telling the doctor I have never self-harmed in my fucking life. He went, okay, I'm sorry that you heard that. You weren't supposed to hear that. And I'm also sorry that you disagree with that. And I'm going, oh, you didn't say that I wasn't a self-harmer. You just said that I disagreed. And what it is I fall the fuck over
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
And when you fall over, you cut yourself in all
Yeah.
kinds of odd places.
Injury.
And, and you get fucking, I walked into a door again. That's when boss of the house isn't bashing me. Bloody, yeah, so they, and what shits me is I fell out of their bed and cut myself. And they reckoned I did it deliberately, but I was asleep. Anyway, I don't know how you can do it deliberately if you're asleep. And I woke up and I went, I fell out of bed, but that was weird because I only woke up as I was halfway down, and the sheet sort of stopped me going down quick. It was kind of weird and good. I hurt my legs, but apart from that, I'm good. And then I'd cut my leg really badly. That was the other thing they said. I was doing things to prolong my stay in hospital.
Oh Jesus.
Are
Okay.
you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
This
you
is the
hate
hospital
hospital.
where they were really full on about vaping. You go to Royal Melbourne and they're full on about vaping, but you go to Vinnie's and they're very full on about vaping.
Yeah.
To the point now when I go to St. Vinnie's, they search my stuff. And they're allowed to because on my record is IVDU. Tell you what, people, never admit anything to your health professionals. Ever.
Never admit anything.
Never admit anything. Because your standard of care goes out the fucking window. They say it doesn't, but it does.
Yeah.
And if you are IVDU, fucking, they're allowed to do anything they want to you. They're allowed to scan you whenever they want. They're allowed to go through your stuff. They're allowed to search your shit. They're allowed to basically tell you what you are and aren't allowed to do. I was told that I had to get back into bed and go to sleep because it was 8 o'clock in the evening. And I went, it's 8 o'clock in the evening. This is a child's time to go to bed. And they said, well, you need your sleep. And besides, we don't like you prowling about the corridors at 8 o'clock because, you might get up to all kinds of no good. And I'm going, I'm in a hospital. There's no good to get up to. And they say, well, we worry because there's drugs available. And I said, they're not fucking available to me. They said, well, you could get access to the safe. And I said, you can't get access to the safe. How many times do I hear fucking the nurses going around going, DDs, who's got the DD keys? Who's got the DD keys? Which is the dangerous drugs safe keys.
Yeah.
And someone's got a lanyard with the keys on them. And usually the last person who used it or the next person who's got to use it, and then someone who's got it needs it, just rolls around the fucking ward asking for them. What that also means is there's a patient somewhere in absolute agony who needs a shot of something full on. And all they're hearing is DDs, who's got the DDs? And it's like, for fuck's sake, someone say me. Yeah, you don't hear that, but I'm going to hear it one day, for sure.
Oh dear, you reminded me of a weird misadventure that happened very long time ago in my early 20s. Shared house in Sydney. I ended up with a girlfriend who was a nurse in a hospital in Western Sydney, and this really weird coincidence. One of my housemates, her mum was like the head nurse at the hospital that my girlfriend was a nurse at, and also my housemate, whose mum was a head nurse, was a junkie. Was doing the gear, and so my girlfriend and her housemate, who was another nurse at the same hospital, and they were quite young, like they were straight out of uni, so they were only like mid-20s, and they one of them accidentally took the drug cabinet key home. It was just the thing; it's like it's pinned to the uniform.
Yeah,
that happens. That happens all the time.
It does happen all the time.
It's pinned to their uniform, and they realized they had it, and so they're calling their boss, and they thought it was really funny. Oh my god! I just unpacked my gear and found out I've still got the key. And the boss is like, oh god, okay, yeah. Where are you now? And it's like, I'm at Spike's place. Hey, do you want to say hello to your daughter? And she fucking freaked that the drug key for her hospital was in her junkie daughter's house, because she thought that would reflect on her. So they're all laughing, having a fun time. Oh, I'm a silly sausage. I took the drug key home. And then she said, I'm in your daughter's house. And she freaked the fuck out. And I was like, oh my God.
Was she like round there in 5 minutes?
She showed up pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, give me the keys, give me the keys, give me the keys, give me the keys. Yeah, let me have a look at my daughter's eyes.
Yeah.
Shine the torch. Okay, I'm going.
Yeah, it was a bit of a thing. But yeah, no, it was actually completely innocent. But she freaked out at the sound of one of her nurses having the key to the drug cabinet in her junkie daughter's house. And I was just like,
how would you be being the daughter going, yeah, thanks, Mum.
Yeah, calm the fuck down, Mum. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like,
I got over it. Will you one day?
Yeah.
Because my IVDU was literally 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I have said it was, and they said, oh, when was the last time you used? And I said, 30 years ago. I got over it. I hope one day you guys will.
Yeah.
And they haven't.
Yeah.
And let's not split hairs. I've been on a shitload of drugs since.
Yeah.
But I haven't injected them.
No IV. Yeah.
And
yeah.
And I haven't got AIDS or Hep C, which was on my file for a long time. And then I said, I haven't got AIDS or Hep C. And they said, well, it's on your file. And I said, let's do a test. And if I haven't got them now, I'm either a medical miracle or I've never had it.
Yeah.
And so they did the test going, and it came back negative and went, we're going to do another test. It came back negative and they went, Hosanna.
It's a miracle.
You are the Messiah. And I'm going, yeah, I know. I will lay my hands upon you. That's my vagina. I know.
I didn't say where I'd lay the hands on you.
Well,
But
that's how most cults start.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
may
someone
suck the
wants to have
penis
sex.
of the
Yeah.
you may suck the penis of the cult leader.
Yeah.
And all the boys
That
may
is.
get it up the bum. Well, that's
Yeah.
what was swastika on the head guy's name? Charlie.
Yeah, Charles Manson. Yeah.
Charles Manson. That's what he used to do. Is he used to root the new cult members either in the front or the back, and
yeah.
he used to do it in front of the
Yeah.
family. They never questioned him after that, because he didn't want a Charlie's extra special intro every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So I've been working out how to start my own cult.
Cults are usually about sex. Yeah.
Often they start about sex, but
Yeah.
they're about money. And I
Yeah. True. Yeah.
I want it to be about money fairly quickly.
Yes.
And boss of the house is not helping me start a cult at all. And so he's got to shape up. Because I want him on the corners of streets going, I have found the way. You may donate chickens, but I have found the way. And he won't do it. And I've even made the sign and everything. And, if you've gone to the trouble to make the sign, end of nigh style.
Yes.
End is nigh style. End of nigh. That'd be a cool sign. End of nigh.
Yeah. It is the end of nigh. What?
Yeah. What? It's like,
don't you mean the end is nigh? No, nigh's not happening anymore.
Nigh's not happening. Don't worry about it. All those prophecies are bullshit. It's the end of nigh. Nigh's not coming. We're going to keep on going for another 1,000 years.
Yeah. Careful how you spell it, because people might think you're threatening Bill Nye the Science Guy as well, and you don't want that.
No, I won't be threatening Bill Nye the Science Guy.
No. I'm gonna mix a drink.
In fact, I'll say Nye is cool after it. And that'll be Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah.
End of Nye, but Nye is cool. And
Nye's
is that a couch you've got there? On its table. Don't worry about it. I was just correcting myself. Let it go. Fuck's sake.
Okay. Just getting big cube of ice from my big ice cube maker.
You've made it black.
Black is bigger, is what we're saying. This is where I want really big ice cubes. I make them in this, and that was the last one, so I got to make some more before I go to bed. Now I know what I'm making a snozzberry.
You could have got a red one or a blue one, but you decided to get a black one.
I have red ones and blue ones. Okay.
So you're trying to differentiate between your big ice cube makers.
Yeah, black.
Because you didn't want to get the one that you just put in out again. You wanted to get the older one in.
Stick it in and wiggle it about for a bit. That's what they say. I'm looking.
My next door neighbour is fucking dragging shit around next door.
Oh God! We can't hear it, but
I can't yell at him for it because he's next door.
I appreciate it's probably annoying.
It is. It's annoying as fuck because it goes right through the house as he drags shit along our wall. Because that's the dividing line.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm getting out very specific things. Little bottle of 23rd Street Distillery whiskey. Gonna get my cherry gin. And a soda. Which soda? I have a few sodas. I've got, what's that? Grapefruit and rosemary.
That's nice.
Tonic. It is. These are really nice. Cucumber and green tea.
Yeah, it doesn't sound nice.
It actually is, though. Oh, that's tonic. And that's tonic. Yeah, exactly,
Get
Wes.
the nice one.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have what we christened a snosberry, which is whiskey and fruit gin and topped with soda. What's Abigail
like
saying? Honor and respect to Dan Andrews in support of his recovery. We should all get on the beers. And those who don't like beer can drink from something higher up the shelf, as Dan actually said on the celebration day. Yes, and when he said he was going to get something from higher on the shelf, he did actually do a social media and drinking Melbourne's own Starward whiskey.
Tell me about Recovery Day. What's going on?
What's Recovery Day?
Yeah, because I haven't been watching the news because my psychiatrist said I'm not allowed to anymore.
Okay. Well, Dan Andrews slipped on some wet steps when he was heading out to work the other day and gave himself a spinal injury and broke several ribs. So he was right on the edge of maybe getting surgery.
Oh, that hurts so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts so much. I did that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know you did. Yes. So Dan spent a couple of days in intensive care.
Yep.
And he's out of intensive care now. And but yes, Abigail's saying in support of Dan and his recovery, we should get on the beers or something higher on the shelf. I'm getting something higher on the shelf.
And he said, I'm going to get on something higher on the shelf too, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. And he as I said, then he posed social media photo pouring himself Melbourne's own Starward whiskey.
Nice. Good one, Dan. I love how the fact that I love this, by the way, the fact that Uncle Rupert's media has fucking vilified him, and Melbourne has turned around and gone, actually, no.
Yeah.
Dan's done a really good job. Actually, no. And Dan's done really well. I met someone today who is a virus conspiracist. The Chinese made the virus in a lab to kill us all and control the world.
Yeah.
And I said, no, they don't have to. They only have to wait 5 years and they're going to control the world anyway.
Yeah.
He was going, oh, no, and all these reasons. And I went, okay, what do they win? What do they win by doing this?
Yeah.
And I explained to him that basically if they kill everyone, then they destroy their customer base, which is what they survive on. Basically, they survive on exports. And if all their customers go away, they're fucked. The other thing they survive on is the fact that half of the first world owes them money and a shitload of it. So if they're not making any money, they're not getting their dough back. And that will make them look a bit foolish when the people go to the post office and say, can I have my 26 yuan for a new tractor? And the bank goes, the post office goes, no. Why? Because we don't have it. I'm angry at that, and I'm going to take the equivalent in your head. That's, if there's a run on the fucking Chinese bank, that would be bad. 2 billion people running a bank. I mean, that's bad. Bad. China in chaos just freaks me the fuck out. Because we've seen it before and it wasn't good then. And these days, what with their tech and their means, I'm just going, oh shit. Half of them would invade Japan, half of them would invade Russia, everyone would ignore North Korea. A lot of the rest of them would go straight to America. They just go nuts. the clever ones would get to Australia to their house and go, "Hello, I speak good English in Chinese," and never speak English ever because they live in the Chinese enclave. Met a Greek guy in hospital who'd been in Australia since 1960 and could hardly speak a word of English.
Yeah.
And finally got him in a corner, conversationally, and made him admit that he didn't speak English at all, that he lived among the Greeks and just never spoke English, and that he was fine living among the Greeks in Melbourne and never ever speaking English. He could only just speak it to get by, and he'd been living here since 1960. And we're all going, how the fuck did you manage to not pick up English in that entire time? It's like 60 fucking years, and you just didn't do it. I mean, imagine this, right? You live in Vietnam in the expat zone for 60 years. You're going to pick up Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you live, you're going to do it. Okay, did you want to mix up this booze?
What, my drink?
Yeah. Oh, well, whatever. How's it taste?
It's nice. It's really weird because you think gin and whiskey seems like a really odd pairing. And it's actually quite nice.
What about the soda you put it with?
Look, I actually did the cucumber and green tea one because that's the one I have most of.
And you were being contrary.
Yeah, and I was being contrary, and it might not have been the best choice. It's not bad, but the rosemary grapefruit one may have been better to go with this.
But
I think
green tea is lovely, and it usually mixes with anything pretty nicely.
Yeah, no, it's a perfectly nice drink.
Except weirdly for chai. Green tea and chai just does not go together.
Really?
But green tea and most foods that you eat go together really, really well, which I'm sure is why they fucking serve it in China and Japan with everything. Because, you're on a winner. If you're eating sushi right through to fucking Wagyu beef, green tea's clearly the easy drink to have. When you go around anyone's house, they offer you a green tea. And you fuck them up by going, "Oh, coffee, thanks." And I go, yeah, okay, I'll get you one of those. I'll just have to grind up some beans.
Yeah.
And they put their shoes on. Is the beans outside? Yes, in the corner shop. I'll be back in a minute. You don't have to go to any trouble. Yeah, I love watching Asians run. It's just the thing. Get in a rickshaw, go faster, beat this other rickshaw. You feel all American. I'm trying to see if I can offend most groups of people in one night.
Yeah, look, I don't think you've ever had difficulty offending people. I think
no, but I'm trying to get them all in.
Everyone in one night. Everyone in one night. Yeah, yeah. That's the way to do. And that way, you're an egalitarian. You're not actually prejudiced at that point. You're being an egalitarian.
It starts to lose its meaning. The wheel of hate, which we used to have. Because when we were in Bathurst, when we were still students. No, we were post students. We thought racism was so foolish that we had the wheel of discrimination, and you'd spin the wheel, and whoever came up was the target of discrimination that week. So we had Black, Irish, American, we had English, we had lots of different people, but we also had Inuit. because we ran out of people and we had to put some
Right.
in to one of the
that's
wedges,
right.
and we
Yes.
had Inuit. And I used to organise it so Inuit came up all the time, and we had some great names for Inuit. One of my favourites was Seal Slapper, and Whale Fucker was another one. Think you're so good in your kayak, do you? Spell it.
Yeah.
Because if you've seen Inuit writing,
I actually have not.
check it out on your
All right, I'm gonna do a computer
internet,
thing
because it's really spectacular. It's a little bit like Myanmar writing. In a sense, you look at it and go, "Wow, that's really interesting."
Yeah. Yep, it's very squiggly. Yeah. Oh my God, it actually looks like I'm looking. I think this is uppercase Inuit writing, and it looks like a kid's code from like a boy's own adventure book.
Yeah. There's dots and inflections and lines, and you just go, it's clearly meant to mean sounds. It was it was formulated by a missionary who was trying to get the exact sounds, because he was concerned that too much written language of native peoples was just a sort of a punt, sort of just a thrown dart in the dark, and he wanted to get it down perfectly, so that A, the language wouldn't die, and B, it was exactly how you said it.
Yeah.
And so, and he'd been there years and years and years, and stopped trying to talk English at him, and learnt the language properly, and really loved it, and said, we're going to do this properly, because a few of the chiefs came to him and said, we don't know writing, and the people that know writing are getting it all over us, because every time they come for our oil and our fish, they write stuff down, and then we sign it, and then we find out that we've signed stuff that is much more extreme than they said it was.
Yes.
And we can't check that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're not always
talking about Inuit insults. She thinks whale fucker could be a compliment, because it would be no small undertaking to actually get out there and fuck a whale, essentially.
Good point.
Yeah.
What about blubber sniffer?
Yes. 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 That's a good one. That's a good one, because on one level it's completely inoffensive. On another level, it sounds pretty offensive. It's a blubber sniffer is not a good person. Blubber sniffer is not a good person.
No, blubber sniffer.
In fact, that feels like that would be an insult between Inuits. That would just be like, oh, fuck, don't go near him. He's a fucking blubber sniffer.
See this wall of ice? I built out of my own two hands this wall of ice. See these cabins? I built with my own two hands these cabins. But you fuck one piece of blubber and you are known.
Yes. and you are forever known as the blubber fucker.
Nanook the blubber fucker.
The whole thing is one of the best versions of that joke was actually in a Warren Ellis comic. I think it was one of the Transmetropolitan comics, which was a future dystopia sci-fi thing he wrote in the 90s. Very good. And they're in this like studio for broadcast, and there's this old guy there, and someone says like, "What's your name?" He goes, "Well, that's an interesting question." Like, it's like, "What do they call you?" "Well, I actually designed this lighting rig. Do they call me Bob the lighting guy?" No, they don't. Also, I actually designed the surround sound for this whole environment. Do they call me Bob the Sound Guy? No, they do not.
No.
And he does a few more things like that, and then someone shouts out, Bob the Goat Fucker, come over here. And he goes, honestly, it was once. It was one time.
One time.
One time.
One time. One time. And, it, I often go to people, it was one time, and they don't,
They don't believe you. And they're talking about, because the scale with the whale fucking could be a thing. There's a joke, stupid joke we told high schools, like two mice looking at an elephant, and one of them goes, I'm going to fuck that elephant. And the other mouse goes, no, you're not. That's not possible. He goes, I am going to get up there and I'm going to fuck that elephant. And his mate goes, no, you're not. And this is a joke that relies on that weird thing of elephants being scared of mice. So anyway, and when he goes, no, I am going to fuck that elephant. And so he runs up the elephant's back leg and gets behind it. And with all his little mouse heart, he's behind there going, and his mate runs out into the open and goes, yeah, Barry, go for it. And the elephant sees the mouse on the ground and trumpets in fear. And the mouse behind it goes, yeah, take it all, bitch. And that's the dumbest joke ever. And I loved it.
It is.
And then one day when I was at work, one day when I was at work, my female boss is talking about we're trying to do a difficult task, and she said, and and she said, it's just like that story about the mouse and the elephant. And I'm going, what? What the fuck? And she said, like, but the thing she'd heard was a mouse said it was going to eat an entire elephant. Like, there was an elephant carcass, and the mouse said it was going to eat the whole elephant. And someone said, that's not possible. How are you going to do it? And the mouse said, one bite at a time. And she explains that, and I went, oh, that's not the mouse and the elephant story that I heard. And she says, what's your story? And I went, no. Not in a workplace. I am absolutely not saying that in a workplace.
I was at a workplace when the senior woman, who wasn't quite the CEO, but she was very senior, came in with a sheaf of papers to fax off somewhere. And put it in the tray, and the tray wasn't sort of very happy about it. And she presses go, and it's sort of going okay. And she says, "Yeah, take it all, bitch. Yeah, take it all." And destroyed the office. Just destroyed the office. We all fucking lost our shit. And then she said to the junior guy, can you just watch this and make sure it all goes through? And he goes, yeah, what's the safety word? Bang. Down we go again. And then she loses it as well.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And, no work got done that day. It was just, forget it.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to happen. No. We were supposed to ring people and sell them shit, and it wasn't. It wasn't happening. Because we'd ring them up and they'd go, no, and we go, yeah, okay. Not, oh, but you really should, blah, 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 blah. And it was like, whatever, man, you're good.
No, the only thing I care about today is the sex jokes with her printer.
Take it all.
I just feel like the various things you could do, like you're trying to force a really stubborn log into a wood chipper, and the gears grind to be, take it all, bitch.
Take it all, bitch. Take it all. But, bizarrely enough, this fucking fax machine took every page, because you know what fax machines do. They take 2 or 3 pages at once, and you just go, oh, that's awesome. Now I've got to stop it, send another cover sheet, and keep going. But it took every page in order, and the junior was watching it going. He said later, I was hoping it'd fuck up because it took an hour to go through, and he was just watching it, and he said, it's just, mindfully going through one page at a time. And the big boss came through and she said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, the smaller boss told me to watch and make sure this fax went through." And she went, "Sigh, what fax is it?"
Sigh.
Took it out of the tray, the bottom tray, and looked at it and went, "Oh, yes, make sure that goes through," and went away. It was a big fax. It was like lots of pages. It must have been 60, 70 pages. And obviously it was fucking important that fax went through because the big boss said, "Yes, absolutely make sure that goes through." And I don't know where it was going. I don't know what it was for. But I think it was worth a lot of money. I think I get the impression it was worth a lot of money.
It's always money.
Had to happen. So yeah. What's the safe word? That was fucking hilarious. That was great. And he was the youngest guy there, right? He was like one up from the mailroom, and for him to have the balls just to fucking say that out loud, just fucking that destroyed work for the day.
Oh my god, sorry, you just reminded there's a comedy sketch, and I can't even remember the Dimitri Martin, a comedian called Dimitri Martin, who specializes in very softly spoken, sort of nerdy humor. And he had a sketch show that I think only went from one season because it was so surreal and the network couldn't wrap their head around it. But one of the sketches was titled "The BDSM Couple Who Chose Bill Pullman as their safe word." And the guy's being chased down the street, being whipped, going, "No, stop it, I'm trying to remember his name. He was in that movie. Bill Pack. No, it's not Bill Paxton. It's the other one." And it was such a surreal joke. It was so good.
Out of just about anyone, couldn't you?
Yeah. No, say it anyway. It's like, your safe words.
She's often been to jail. Oh, she was in that movie twice. And
it's like your safe word is Wilford Brimley.
Ow.
Your safe word's Wilford Brimley, and you're going, "No, the fucking diabetes guy. He's got a big mustache."
You probably, I think you've heard it once and you didn't like it, but I'm a fan of the
I know what you're bringing up.
Podcast, Distorted View.
Yes.
And Wilford Brimley has a lot of airtime on Distorted View, diabetes, and so does so many other wrong things. At least I'm not going to die a careless fairy is the sound grab. Because there's a lot of just grabs of bits and pieces, and I shouldn't go into it too much.
But yes, if you want to, and if you want to, there's a podcast called Distorted View that AZ really likes, and I think is a bit gross. So that tells you what the podcast is. Yeah,
it is fucking gross. Don't be afraid of the fact that it's gross. And they pride themselves by having a story about scat once a month, at least. They've at least stopped Sextastic Tuesday, which was the reading out of porn stories that were poorly written, too bizarre to understand, or just very bad. And Sextastic Tuesday is a little piece of your soul goes with it. And that started because fucking Twilight. What was the name of the sparkly vampires?
Edward or whatever his name was. Edward Cullen.
What was the movie?
Yeah,
the
Twilight.
actual book,
Twilight.
was written by it was Potter fiction and
It was
turned
yeah,
into
it was written by a Mormon. Yeah, you know.
and he was going, surely the fuck we can do better than that. And and there's another thing called I can't remember her name now. Oh, you idiot. It's the Some Woman Hall of Fame, and they catch people who are really bad at singing, and they put them up, and they say, is that a Hall of Famer? Currently, at the moment, there's a guy called Mead Skelton, and he's a singer.
That name. Yeah,
and he's a bad singer.
Yeah,
he's also a lazy racist. And he, for example, he said, I'd better have a shave because I look a bit like an Italian.
Right. Very lazy racism. Right.
You might have heard about a guy who was at a statue removal because it was really disgusting. Southern white guys are good statue.
Yeah.
And he turned up with a Confederate flag saying, save our history, save our history. And he got immediately arrested and he cried. And it was him. And when the news came out, the host said, I think that's Mead. I think that's how Mead Skelton. And it was. And,
it was. Oh, no.
And so he got a lot of shit over that. He can't keep a job. And his dad gives him shit about it because he lives with his dad, because he's a proper singer. He's a musician. That's his thing. And his songs all sound like bad folk with a history twang.
Right. Yeah.
And he got a job at a Walmart picking depot. But he lasted there half a day. Because he got in there and he said, well, everyone in there was black. So for
so he didn't want to hang around.
Problem. And then finally I saw up on the wall big banner saying Black Lives Matter. And that was it for me. And I told them what I thought as I was leaving the place.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, finish your story. I want to throw something in.
He was just basically going, if you got a Black Lives Matter poster on your wall, it was huge. Well, that's it. You're not getting any more Mead. He lasted half a day in this job, and it was like, you fucking tool. We can't handle Black Lives Matter because, they clearly don't. Equal but separate.
There was a joke going around, and some right winger was doing it, and I thought it was actually reasonably funny for a right winger joke about the tokenism of mainstream Democrats like Joe Biden, the Biden administration, and there were two variants of it. One was like a fake news article headed. Biden pledges that 50% of all bombs dropped on the Middle East will come from black-owned businesses. And and the other one was an actual missile under the wing of a fighter bomber, and it had a Black Lives Matter sticker on the side of it and a trans flag on it. And because it's just it's so much nicer under Joe Biden. And I'm in a couple of Facebook groups where people share sort of really fucking shit tier boomer memes and go, what the fuck is this? And someone shared this one of the fighter bomber with the missile with the Black Lives Matter and the trans flag on it. And I said, look, it's obviously Photoshop, but it is actually a reasonably funny indictment of the tokenism of establishment Democrats. And this one guy starts saying, no, that's totally believable. And I went, it's not, man. It actually
It's
isn't.
really not,
And
dude.
he's going, I served in the military. And I'm like, I don't know.
No,
How
you
can
didn't.
I say I know? He's going, I don't see any like JPEG. I don't see artifacts that tell me it's fake. It's believable. And I went, how do I say it's not believable because I have a fucking rational mind, you stupid motherfucker?
And how do
this
you
guy
also say you
obsessed
didn't
about it.
serve? How do you say
Mm.
you didn't serve? If you did,
Yeah.
you'd know
Yeah.
that was bullshit and you'd
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. And this guy was going on with these really long comments. And so I just started trolling him. And I was just like, he'd do this really long comment. And I'd just go, cool. And then he'd get really angry. Where's your proof? Where's your proof? And I'll go, oh, you think I give a shit about you? Cool. And he'd do another really long comment. And I was just ignoring because I was just making fun of him and saying cool. And he did eventually bail. But then someone posted like, oh, dude, I don't know why you needed this proof because this was so self-evidently not real. Here's the actual original photo. You can see it's the exact photo, just without the Black Lives Matter and the trans flag on the missile. And it's just like he's like, how do you know it's fake? And it's like, because it's obviously fake. How do I know it's fake? Because it's obviously fake.
You know, the funniest thing that you brought that up is about must have been 6 months ago. I saw another thing and it had a effectively a naked lady with a hijab on. Beside a bomb.
Yeah.
Right. And people were going nuts about how this thing was wrong and offensive. And and somebody said, don't worry, it's photoshopped. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
And someone said, I served. It's not. It's real. And the comment below it said, well, actually, I served, and we usually did our messages in chalk. Yes. And that was the end of the argument.
Yeah, you don't get really professionally printed decals on. They do. And this goes way back to writing messages on a shell just before you fire it. That is a thing that happens, definitely.
That happened since the Second World War.
Yeah.
That they wrote, to Hitler with love. And they've done it right through to, I don't know if they still do it in Syria, but they've done it right through to Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, no, definitely think they
Taliban Express Post.
It's sure. They write something on the shell just before they fire it. Yeah. Also, did I say hi, Stella? Stella's come in and said good evening. Hello, Stella.
Hey, Stella. How you doing?
Off in the weird dilated time zone of Western Australia. 3 hours different to us. It's very strange, but anyway.
But in its way, cool with Jesus.
Yeah. Stella had I don't know if you picked this up, AT. There was an state election in Western Australia.
I did pick that up.
Did you see the results? It's like
I didn't see. I heard.
Actually,
the results screamed.
The Liberal leader conceded a month ago and said, we cannot win this under any... And I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen a politician a month before the election concede and say, it is not possible for us to win this. But there's 60 seats or 59 seats in the parliament, so you have to get 30 to have a majority. Labor's got like 52 or 53. The Libs are going to end up with 2 or 3. And the Nats are going to end up with 4 or 5. And that's it. Like, that is the most hold someone down and butt fuck them with no safe word election result I have ever seen. There was that one.
Got to hurt.
There was that one in Queensland a while back where Labor got pasted nearly that bad. But bizarrely, the LNP coalition lost the following election because they were so bad.
They were so bad. Well, remember that happened here. That happened here. That the Libs got up, and they were so bad that
Yeah.
they just lost it next election.
Yeah.
And they're trying to say that Dan Andrews is going to lose this election, but
Oh no, he's got an
everybody who's
increased
on the
majority.
ground is going, no.
He's got an increased majority at the next election. He's not
Yeah.
only going to win, he will increase the majority.
He's going to win very hard.
Yeah.
And he's basically adored by the local
Yeah.
community because he kept us alive and shit when Sydney tried to kill us.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that Sydney tried to kill us by sending us the plague ship.
Yeah.
Thanks,
and
cunts.
The Murdoch media have been so angry at Victoria because they told us not to elect him. The first time he won, they got super upset, and it was like,
stroppy.
We told you not to elect him, and this is nonstop haranguing. And because what did the two big pledges Dan Andrews got in on was to stop an expressway that was the Libs were going to build, and to do a lot of civil works like level crossing removals. And so what did he do? What did he do? Yeah. And that was a later one. But in the first election, the two big promises were, can this expressway that was going to do taking away people's homes from them and do a bunch of level crossing removals. What did he do in his first term? He canned that expressway. He started the level crossing removals. And the Liberals got super fucking angry. Like, why is he popular? Because he did the things he said he was going to do. We said those were bad things, and you voted for them, and now you like him more because he did the things that we said were bad things. Don't vote for him this election. Second term gets him with an increased majority. And they're so angry, and he's going to get
very angry.
Greater majority.
They also said these level crossings are going to be a nightmare for traffic, and they're going to be hell on earth, and they haven't been. And they said they're going to be in eyesores because they're going to be huge.
Not in my backyard thing.
Across
the elevated rail lines,
and they're just little hills above roads, and that's it. The road gets sunk slightly, the tracks go up slightly, because people seem to forget we've had that in Melbourne, all over Melbourne for a million years, and they've just copied that.
And the Murdoch papers ran all these articles from people who were Liberal Party voters saying, oh, they've destroyed my life. There's now this elevated train track outside my house and it's horrible. And it's like, A, nobody cares. B, everyone knows you're just a Liberal Party voter bitching to the Murdoch press. C, I can actually conceive of, that could be a bit of an imposition for that small number of people, but 100,000 people benefit from it. A small number of people, it kind of sucks a bit, but 100,000 people benefit from it.
The other thing that happened was that the traffic around those level crossings just became so easy.
Yes.
Went, this we should have done years ago.
Yeah.
Because there's no ding, 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 stop forever. It's just go. Go when you want. And basically, you're not worried about fucking pasting someone. You're not worried about fucking is a train going to come through and wipe me out. You're not worried about signals failing, and they fail all the fucking time. There was a story about a guy who was talking about, it was a little while ago now, it was maybe a couple of years, it was failed level crossing, and he's he's on a motorbike, goes across the level crossing, and then he feels a wind behind him and hears the sound of the siren, and he said real human poo came out of my bottom, and he said the train must have missed me by 20 centimetres.
Oh, shit.
Just randomly managed to get past it, and he didn't see it coming because they rammed through. And he only heard the siren and then just got across, stopped the bike and looked back and saw this train. And he thought, if I was any different speed, any different time, I just would have been a smear on the tracks, you know,
Yeah.
and was just going, what the fuck? And he stopped and he called the rail people and said, I just nearly got fucking wiped out by a train. And they said, yeah, we know it's a failed crossing where we're getting people out there. And he stopped to warn cars, this crossing's not working. He would actually get out and stop people and go, this crossing's not working, look both ways. And he was stopping cars both sides. And it took him an hour to get out there. And he's just going, at what point, you know, does a sense of urgency fucking come in? Anyway, you've been very kind to me for 2 hours, and it's time for me to go.
It is. It's bedtime. It's bedtime. So thank you.
Thank you so much, people, for allowing
joining.
me to be on your device. You're nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to swan off now. It is 10 p.m. Tomorrow will be a worky day for me. I won't be doing a live stream tomorrow night. It's one of my nights off. In all probability, we'll be back on Tuesday night. But, you know, I always just say probably because, I don't know, the world's weird and life is weird and unpredictable things happen. Plan is to be back on Tuesday, but I'll be taking it off tomorrow night, watching some shows with Mrs. Angry. Tomorrow night's a chill out night. Be back on Tuesday in all probability. So take care of yourself, fine people, because you are fine people. We love yous all, and we shall see you another time. But bye for now.